Not over. Welcome to the cold. Last 2 weeks, we've been working on this thoracic lever move from the foundation training. We've also been starting to prep for the Murph a little bit, so we'll be hitting that quickly. But let's talk about, maybe we'll get a Billy Bones over here to talk about the purpose of the thoracic lever, but mainly a lot of you, instead of hearing your spine crunch, you hear your chiropractor's hands crunch when they try to adjust your T-spine, your mid-back. So this is a good move to help open that all up. And they have videos breaking this down on the foundation training site, but I'm doing a little quick warm-up. I'm not gonna break it down in detail because we've been doing that in class, so come to class. But we'll do a little review too of some of the things we've been using, like props, to help us out here. And forgive the gloves, it gets cold in this gym. We're gonna start with this platter move too, which is one of the variations of that thoracic lever. I'm just gonna go kind of wide, almost squatty stance. I'm not really thinking too much anchoring here. I wanna focus on the mid-back. So starting from that hip hugger is a good way to do this, but we still wanna think about the abs. Tighten those in. Just doing a mini crunch. Pulling the pubic bones towards the front of the rib cage. Get that transverse abdominis to engage. So I open up the elbows. We don't want to shove the belly forward. Keep that beer belly in check. Breathe, tighten. Inhale, tighten, exhale, tighten. We're going to serve that platter. Wider here in my stance. I can almost bring myself down, squatting a little bit to this foam roller, because I want to just slightly push down into it. Now where I hunch, pushing down where I can get tall. Drive my feet to the ground, lengthening my spine, using my lats to push down, then I can push away. A lot of people, when they platter, they automatically start raising the shoulders up. That's not the goal. I want to initiate here. Get grounded, pushing down, getting tall, keeping the shoulders down. We're thinking about that lemons in the armpits idea. Strong lats. Then from there, you can let that foam roller go. You already have this idea of I'm still keeping the shoulders down as I'm serving the platter, rolling the elbows towards each other. Pulling the hips back in response. Don't let the shoulders raise. Breathing. Prying open that mid-back, that T-spine area. So let's do a few in motion here from the side. Don't need the prop. It was just there initially to give us that idea. Don't raise, drive down. So serving, and the work gets done right here, right? Pushing that shaky zone. Let's do a few of those. Breathe in, tighten the stomach. Just going intense for that 1 second. Even reach a little bit more to the right. Back in. Now it's okay if I can't quite get my elbows together, because I don't want to be going into the old man posture to do that. So we still want to be big in the chest. So it feels like you just can't quite get those together. That'd be the good thing. It should be really hard. It shouldn't be easy. Big chest. Serve the platter. As I reach, I am trying to get those elbows together, but I'm trying to keep that big chest as well. Big, proud chest. Push. Reach a little bit extra with the left. You're doing this with fists. Looks like you're at the top of a chin-up. Curl in a little bit. Go in with the fists. I can reach. Reach. Targeting one lat at a time. Spread and reach. Let's zip it up. Big toes together, heels 2 to 3 inches apart. Same thing, we're tightening everything here in the stomach so we can open up the back. Getting tall, serving that platter. Right here's where the work happens. Rolling in. Starts to shake. Make the fists. Reach with one hand. That's gonna roll the right hip forward a little bit. Come on back. Reach the left. Hips are just fighting to do that tug of war. Pull away. Trump or Biden? Neither. Is that a good answer? Oh, man. Whatever one lets me jack the heat up. It's too cold in here. So that's our thoracic lever. That has warmed me up though, so who needs heat? All right. So yeah, that'd be a great thing to do. If you're seeing the chiropractor, do that move for just a few minutes beforehand, loosen you up. Do it for a few minutes after as well. Good morning, hello everyone. Good. Let's do a few more of those. Now I'm gonna get a little deeper in my squat. Tightening that stomach, or the Murph is a lot of squats. So we want to have good form. A lot of times when I see people squat, they're not using the core. They're just kind of slamming down on their joints, if you will. It should feel like a pulling down effect. We're pulling ourselves down. So it's great to first get tall. Lengthen, pull that back of the head up. Tighten, there's abs here, if you will. Your stomach tightening, front of your neck tightening as well. Serve that platter. As I roll those elbows in, go into our thoracic lever. That should help you tighten the stomach too. So it's a cue. Breathing in as I do that tightening. We'll time that with the squat. So the hips kick back, knees bend. I can reach those hands up. It is almost like I'm keeping my spine really tall. I'm pulling myself down into the squat. So I'm not getting super deep, but I'm feeling a great stretch from the back of my skull to my tailbone. Should feel really good. Sometimes you do a ton of squats, it's almost like your back is tweaking a little bit. For foundation training, we have the opposite effect. You feel really good. Strong, not just loose, strong. Let's hit about 10 of these. Just quick, going really strong for 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do a little lunge here. Same thing. Hinging, hinging, hinging. Squat with one leg. Really soft. We're not slamming down the knee. Still getting that lat to work. Still breathing. Keep the arms together if that helps. Like that reach. Feel it's almost rounding a little bit. That's okay. It's gonna help open up that mid back. Just don't collapse. It's a rounding, but it's a length as well. So you can think about, so everyone thinks length this, right? They always lengthen and extend. Think lengthen and flex. Like you're doing a modified curl up. You're tightening that stomach. Mini, mini crunch. Should be tucking super deep. We don't want to end up in a C shape, but opening up all those joints in the back, in that T-spine area. Feel uncomfortable up here, up and above. Step back, tightening and lengthening, driving that knee out. Good. Grab a foam roller, a broomstick handle. Now we'll do a little rapid squeeze. That was mostly turning the hips out. So let's rotate the hips in. My left hand, tracing up, left heel up the shin, both hips wrapping and squeezing towards each other. Right pinky, right ring finger, pushing in the inner thigh. I'm pushing down into my prop, getting tall. Even if you have great balance, it's good to use a prop. Sometimes we just collapse, like, well, I can stay here all day, but we want to get length. Length, you want to think about that stomach as the hips wrap and squeeze, pulls that pubic bone behind you a little bit. The pelvis reaches behind you, which almost feels like you're just driving your head forward. So naturally you have to respond by tucking the chin in. It's a bit of play, right? Pelvis comes back, head comes back, trying to get them both back at the same time. That's kind of where that length comes into play, that decompression. I'm not relying on this foam roller, I'm spearing it through the ground. Getting tall, inner thigh should be aching. Both legs here are wrapping into each other, mainly that one that's raised in the air. Watch that foot too, make sure we're turning on all the muscles in the front by dorsiflexing, pulling that foot towards you. Again, I don't want to hammer these foundation training moves too much. See all the videos online, so check out their website. But this is not a move of theirs, but I like this as well. Just since that's wrapping and squeezing, we can now activate the glutes by tracing your kneecap down along the calf. Almost like a curtsy lunge. So I'm scooping my right hand up, get some real estate here. Reaching up, I'm just pointing the toe down. I'm kind of reversing everything I just did. I'm just bringing that, feels really good. Bring that heel, that knee right down on the back of that heel where that Achilles tendon attaches. It's good to have the prop here if you're not used to this. It can help you come up and down. I'm just sliding that kneecap along the calf. Try to maybe you get all the way down to the heel, that's fine. You can take it all the way to the ground too. Just like to stop at the heel. Especially as you're building, when I first started off, balancing is terrible. So having a little something, just so you can do the motion, is helpful. Let's hit the other side. So give you another angle, just so you can see how I'm bringing the pelvis back. I'm flattening my body to a wall. Whew. Now we're gonna take right up. Even here, I'm still getting tall, decompressing, even before I trace. Tracing that heel along that shin. I'm pushing about 10 minutes of pressure. From heel to shin, they're both pushing into each other. Which naturally almost helps with your balance. A little bit of squeeze. Getting tall, I'm pushing down to the foam roller. Big chest, I don't want to be doing this. Scoop in, pulling the head back, pubic bones back. See that little bit? Almost like a tiny hinge. I'm just drawing that pelvis underneath me. Spine lifts and stacks on top of the pelvis. Then we're breathing here. Fairly simple move, right? Especially with the prop. As you get better, you can take away, that's what I like about the foam roller versus the broom handle. It's gonna stay there. So if I need it, I can just come back to it. But I can do other things here. You can definitely advance this. Do a lot of your laying type positions here. We do this leg trace as well on the ground. Of course, that's a lot easier. And then you're tracing up. Just keeping that stomach tight as we lift. The belly wants to protrude, the pubic bone want to drift forward. So don't let them tighten that stomach. So as I'm, just a tug of war, everything's a tug of war. Spheres coming overhead, pulling that pubic bone back, wrapping and squeezing even harder. That's where that shake, that tremble comes in. The balance starts being tested. Good, let's hit our little curtsy. Maybe this will help from behind. So I kind of can just transition, right? I'm already up here. So you can even take it, wrap it around that knee, tracing down, I'm scooping that other hand up, reach out. See where that knee sits. right in that calcaneus bone. Now the foot is pointed. If you want to create a little flow, you can even trace back up. Now we're dorsiflexing the foot, pulling the toes towards the kneecap. Getting tall, decompress, and it comes up. Do a little curtsy, tracing, digging, a little massage in that calf. Bring that down, just supporting here so I don't fall over. Good. You can even add weight to that, or a band. Put a band over your shoulder as you want to progress this. Just starting out, foam roller, maybe 2 foam rollers, whatever can help you do it. It kind of feels good though. Loosening those calves. It might hurt a little bit digging into them, but most people's calves are pretty sensitive. Even your shin muscles, when you're tracing that heel up there, feel like, oh. I work on people's legs all day, and they're like, ooh, I didn't know that was there. So you can do this to yourself, and you're like, ooh. If it hurts, it's really tender, and you don't even notice it. It's showing you there's some problems there you need to work out. It's becoming aware, giving your body awareness. Let's get a little foundation training warm up. I always want to hit some gorilla lifts and stuff like that. Just with the platter, we already changed that up a little bit, but we didn't even show you the normal thoracic lever, which is here. Right, everything together, wrapping and squeezing. Again, we're on a big chest. That doesn't mean tall shoulders. Shoulders down, proud chest, proud back as well. All right, so we'll combine that. Big toes together, wrap and squeeze. Pull the pubic bones back, get tall. We've been doing some different stuff. We've been going hip hugger, long wing, short wing, bringing it together. Especially long wing, short wing, they both help build that big chest. Sometimes we're just here, we scoop up and we collapse, right? End up here. That's not what we want either. Tall, rapid squeeze. Short wing really opens up the chest and slowly moving. It's like you're getting 2 opposing magnets together. It's really gonna fight you. You should be very tough. A lot of people they can't even get there. That's okay. Maybe put something there. Yoga block, a little ball, so you have something to wrap and squeeze into. Eventually you should be able to get together. And then I'm just spearing the hands towards the ceiling. As I tighten the stomach, pull those pubic bones behind me as I reach. Breathing, shaking, keep the shoulders down, neck long still. The head out of the turtle shell. Should tremble. I like to hit one hip over the other, so let's bring one leg back. Reach a few times. Holding that right hip back. A few on the other side. A little spiral here if you want. It's one of those things like, oh, you can't even go for a minute because you just be begging for it to stop. You really hit everything. Let's do a few just for your attention, just to break that up. It's all good stuff for the wrists, stuff I need. Let's bring you over here so the music isn't too loud by you. Need some water. All right, let's scoop into some spheres. Just normal founders. Prepping the body for some Murph action today. I'll explain how we're prepping. Tighten that stomach. Scoop up to the sphere. Still thinking about what we did with the thoracic lever, but now we're allowed to be a little bit broader in the rib cage, broader in the chest. Still rolling those elbows in. Like we're hugging a big stability ball, right? Wrap and squeeze. Just so no one can pull our hands apart. Fingertips are reaching for each other, but the palms are reaching away. Hinging the hips back. Tighten the low back, tighten the abs at the same time. Breathe into that cylinder, that low back. Keep reaching away, make it shake. Same idea. On a good founder, I'm just gonna kick one leg back. Reach a little deeper. We can little spirally action. Tighten the stomach. Spread the floor with your feet. Now, tighten the stomach, reach the pubic bones behind. Roll the hips back, letting them scroll towards each other. Step the leg back. Keep a subtle bend in both knees. Reach those hands up high. Rolling right hip towards the left. That left leg is resisting rotation. I feel like the founder, the sphere of tension, target the hips a little bit better. That thoracic lever can definitely help. Loosen that mid back up. Loosen the lats up too. One last thing I wanted to show you. I mean, you see this all the time, but just adding it to foundation training makes sense. We loop this band over his shoulder. We have another compression element. Weight training, strength training, we're trying to add compression to the body because the body then resists. So I can just step on the band here. And that's true decompression, is teaching your body to resist gravity. Resist compressive forces, that's what builds strength. Not always just having your chiropractor pull on your neck, decompress you, or going at an inversion table for a little bit. Feel good, you notice your symptoms keep coming back. So we just train our muscles to naturally suspend us, if you will. It begins with stuff like this. It doesn't have to be this heavy. It's the thickest band I got. So I'm gonna lunge down here just to get it on my shoulder, right? So if I just did what I just did, this can really make it fun. So I'm gonna reach this same leg back. So it's pulling down on me. The more I kind of kick that foot back, the more it's pulling that shoulder down. I naturally have to do this, right? I have to resist. Don't let it compress you. Get tall, especially if I'm reaching the shoulder, it's gonna lock it on my trap. Especially if you are a shoulder breather. Now, you still have to think shoulders down, but this is gonna help you with that concept. Because it's naturally pulling that shoulder down, it's isolating the motion at the socket, right? So we can really make that move we just did, which we call our woodpecker. Tighten that stomach, hinging at the right hip, scooping up, reaching up. Until I'm pushing that heel against that band too. A lot of people really want to go to the tippy toes. This forces you to remind you that, oh, I need to stretch that band out a little bit more. Reach that back heel towards the ground. It's not quite touching the ground. It's adding a little bit of stretch to the band. We can definitely add those rotations. Down on both sides quick. I'll show you another fun thing you can do here. Back angle here. Stepping back. One thing with a band might cause you to arch too much is really, I think, tighten that stomach before you get tall. Don't be dumping out there like that. Band's not going to do all the work for you. It's just there to remind you of some things. To resist compression forces. Scooping up. Kicking back against that band. Tightening the stomach. It's even pulling me outwards, right? It's rotating me this way. So it even makes this rotation a little more intense. I have to fight the band in a couple different directions. I'm not torquing from the low back, and that's why we really need to resist. We're lengthening, we're locking that low back in place. So when I breathe and rotate, it's from the hips, it's from the mid back. That's the theme of the day. Open up that T-spine. So many people where I can get their neck to move, get their low back to move. Their mid back is the holdout. And usually it's because it's caught in between. Think about the neck. Really loosey-goosey, low back's loosey-goosey. We got all these ribs attaching to the T-spine. So yeah, there's a lot less disc damage that happens, less herniations, but it tends to be very rigid in some people, or hypermobile, like me. My old chiropractor in school would just come along, he was only allowed to adjust one bone, so when the instructors weren't looking, you do this, and it'd be Then when I started practicing, I'd have a foam roller in the other room, a quick run there. I'd have to do that all day long. It was so unstable. So it could be both, but it's just so hypermobile, so loose. There's no strength in the muscles. And I was looking at other people's spines and made me realize what was wrong with mine. I was like looking in a mirror. I was just feeling someone's spine one day. I'm like, there's no muscle here. Running my hands down the spinous processes in that groove. There's just bone, ligament and bone. I'm like, there's muscles there. You know, open the anatomy book. Epiphysis, the transversospinalis muscles. Transverso, whatever they are. Transversospinalis muscles, yeah, it's a mouthful. The erector spinae, all those muscles should be there. We should feel those, not just the traps and the lats that are the outer casing. I forgot one thing here to hit. Don't get me on my spinal stability soapbox. But another fun thing you do with the band, you can definitely level this up with the kettlebell. Same thing, look it over. It goes back to what we did with our trace. Like the woodpecker's similar to doing this. So now we can add that curtsy lunge. I'm reaching one palm up. I'm not gonna drag anymore, it's hard with the band there. Just still doing that curtsy, letting that glute engage, open up, coming down. Ooh. And that single leg squat action, that nice lunge. And I love that curtsy. So I get to step back here, but I'm still using the back leg a good bit. Or if you kind of float that leg behind the curtsy, yeah, I can maybe piss the knee off a little bit, so don't do that if it's torquing on it too much, but it's good to test that hip in different ranges of motion, not just always spiraling in. Most people are naturally spiraled out. That's why foundation training, we do so much inward anchoring, turn the hips in. This is a fun one. I'm not even sure if I can handle this. Let's see. So now I can add quite a bit of compressive force. 50-pound kettlebell. And just, ooh. Forces me to keep my spine long and strong during both the negative and the positive going up. Force being a relative term, right? We still have to think, we still have to have good mechanics. Where is the water? Need some water. Oh, there's some noise. It's the talking for me. And I'm out of shape. We got a like. Sweet. That means a lot, honestly. Getting even one thumbs up. Even if it's for pity's sake. Helps me keep doing this. Mostly I do it just for people who are coming to class, especially if they're missing a week. They're not lost in the weeds. My bad leg always struggles. So, but just because it's hard doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. No, it's the Murph 7, promise. Just want to correct those left to right imbalances, as well as front to back, which is mainly just our ability to decompress, right? Oh my goodness. Oh. That's good. That's good stuff. All right, so our strategy last week was just one pull-up. If you can't get a pull-up, just hook a band on the bar, do a jump pull-up, do a lat pull-down, something. Even did just some foundation training, go from short wing up to sphere, just keeping that neck long, or just do that with a towel, something. Get that motion. Just
Just building up towards one good pull-up, right? Same thing with push-ups, quality. Do that one good push-up. And then squats, we're loading, we're weighting ourselves. Unless one squat alone, you could just do FT squat or something like that. Today we're gonna go a little higher. 2 pull-ups, 4 push-ups, 6 squats. So play it as you will. So I'll try to give some options, do a few rounds, and then we'll be done. All done, right? Start with the pull-ups. Give the legs a break. Hit those. So you got our new fandangled pull-up bar here. So I'm gonna reset each time. Get this out of the way. It's for the short people. So what I mean by set is I'm just getting that neck long, engaging the lats, and then trying to go as fast as I can. So really explosive, powerful, one pull-up. And a little bit wider than I'm usually comfortable with. So I'm doing this first, right? Don't just be collapsed, but active, engage, and then I fire. So you can do this a few times. Working that scapula, pull it down, relax it. Pull it down, bam. And again, pull it down, bam. That's the same as we did last time. We're just adding one, or maybe you're just still on one. And if that's too hard, you just jump at it. Just think about it. So you're still doing that. Strong as you can, as explosive as you can. Just use that jump to help you, or hook up one of our bands. Hook up that blue guy. You can do pull-ups all day with that. No excuses. All right. We'll do our push-ups next. So we can do push-ups on a kettlebell. Just give you some options. Could be knees down, whatever you want to do. I'm taking sphere tension, I'm wrapping around the kettlebell, the handle's away from me, so it's a kickstand. I'm gonna start on my knees, just it helps me pull the head back, remember, head back, tighten the abs, slowly pull the pubic bone back, stiff as I can be. Make this tough. Don't collapse into the kettlebell. Just tap and go. Don't let those abs disengage. Keep wrapping and squeezing. That's that little push-up plus, we call it. Where I'm just pushing right there. That's radius anterior. Push away a little bit. Tighten that stomach. I'm opening up the mid-back. Keep it open. Don't collapse. So each time, doing that little push-up plus. Push that kettlebell through the floor. Wrap and squeeze the shoulders down. Tighten the stomach. Breathe in. Brace. So that was 4. It was a few extra. Then our squat. Let's do an FT squat for now. And then we'll add weight to it. So if you're just body weight, almost what we did today, when we warmed up with, you can do that. You can screw up to your sphere. So I'll just throw a few options at you. But breathing, bracing, getting tall, kicking the hips back. Then I let the knees bend as I scoop up so the abs are tight here. If that feels like it's tweaking your low back, try this. Tighten those stomachs. If you're a cow, you have multiple stomachs, tighten them all. Tighten your stomach. Scoop up, fists together, forearms together. That's really gonna tighten and lock your low back up too. Sometimes I squat and I feel like just this left side just opens up too much. Or there's the butt tuck. It's not like it hurts, but it feels like, just feel like there's too much motion where there shouldn't be. It didn't feel as stiff and stable as it should be. And you'll have more awareness of that as you do more. Especially after, if you're done, like, man, yeah, my back's tweaking a little bit. It's not what should be happening. It's not our goal. Happens a lot, but it's letting you know, right? Not every day is a good day in the gym. But you're out there and you're learning, so it's a good day. Get tall. So I really like these. I'll do a little spread at the end. can add your band. Another thing I like if I'm feeling some tweakage in the low back. Or sometimes the ankles don't feel like they're working well. Opening up against that band. That's what we call the outward anchor in foundation training. We're spreading the floor. First, get taller, I'd say. I'm tall, unlock the hips, then let the knees spiral. Open up against them. You might feel one glute here working a little bit more than the other because it might be weaker. The band will expose that for you. Like I said, just 6, so we want them tough 6. Even make it a little tougher than that. All right. Now, there's a little bit of a running portion. If you haven't been hitting too much, if you do like a little dance, got a jump rope, you can hit a few. I don't have a great place to run here for the Murph. So I usually just have people run the parking lot at every round. That way it's breaking it up for you a little bit. Because my goal is not to kill you with the Murph. I don't like push-ups and pull-ups very much. This is my one time a year where I come back to them, right? When I was younger, it was all about push-ups and pull-ups. Now everything's leg day and core day. A little cardio, 250. Counting. You can't this coffee mug over there. I'm like, where did that come from? Does it have coffee in it? Get a little slow down, a little bouncy. Make some double unders. I'm sucking those, but let's do a few. That's actually decent for me. If I can get 10, it's a good day. Sometimes it's like 2, and it's like, keep practicing. Everyone's got excuses. I can blame my broken ankles, right? Get out there and keep doing stuff. All right. So 1 round. Obviously, not even thinking about getting 300 squats, 200 push-ups, 100 pull-ups. No, not today. That's not how we prep for the Murph. Quality. Quality over quantity right now. Really good, really clean. Even could clean that up even more. It's a fun little drill I was doing. Start with a lighter bell first. I love loading one side. And I've been doing this little switch at the bottom. Just makes you stay in the squat a little bit more. So down here, pulling it up, coming up. I'm gonna add a little press action in here. Squat down. Switch it. Squat down. I'm just doing the switch in the squat. Fun stuff. Got our 4 push-ups. Let's do a normal push-up this time. Same concepts. I just really like that close, right? Because it's really mirroring that sphere tension, that decompression phase. But just getting good at normal push-ups too. I used to make fun of wide push-ups, but everything challenges differently. You can do it on kettlebells too. Let me show you. It's giving you options. Here's a wide deficit push-up, we would call it. Deficit because I'm going below the handles, like I'm going below the floor, which puts more of a stress, lengthens those pec muscles out. Go low, 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 stretch them out. One. Making those four really good. Stretching those pecs out and making you use them. Retrains them. Good. Without pull-ups, push-ups, I think is my problem growing up is it's all about numbers. Because numbers are cool. So you wouldn't go full depth. You wouldn't fully lock out. We're getting that push-up plus, and we wouldn't go as deep because it's harder, right? Same with pull-ups. You wouldn't get that full extension. Some jump ropes. Play around with it. I really have been enjoying my weighted jump rope my dad got me. And it's almost easier with a weighted jump rope, but going backwards, starting the jump rope out in front of you, just hits things differently. It's interesting. I'm usually terrible at it. Let's see if we can get a few. Just makes you jump higher, makes you slow it down. Hits the shoulders different, right? Rotating in a different direction. Just gets the heart pumping, get your cardio rolling as well. What time is it? Almost time for work. Let's do one more round. I don't think I have anything fancier to show you besides just adding more weight with the squat. So you want those six to be, that 6 much to be a little shaky. Same with the push-ups. These last four are a little easier. And that's hard with push-ups, besides like throwing like weight on your back or something. It's hard to make those tough. But just slowing it down, good form. It's not like it should be murdering you. Same with the pull-ups. And some people just can't even do a pull-up. You're hanging from the bar. Just think about it. You know, you're hanging and your nut is collapsing. Even just getting this position, I'll show you what we just did before. This could be your pull-up. Just here. Right? Eventually you're gonna have that enough power to get all the way up, lock out. For me, it was always that slow, and I'm trying to make it so it's less of a, more of a, right? Like you're about to go for a muscle up, which I could never get, but more power is the key. That's what I know. I'm like you guys. Started from the bottom, working my way up. Let's combine it. Heavy kettlebell with the band. This should make my 6 a little more fun. If I can even get this up. Oh, sandbags. You can make this a little awkward. Just flip it this way. Whew, 4. I earned it with that one. Hopefully you saw the struggle. That was a good 6. Maybe that intense. Putin. Got some Russians on. Hey, Russians invented the kettlebell. Right? Whew. Push-ups. And we're done. Band, of course. The band is another way to make the push-up tough. I live with this. I've thrown a million things at you. Yeah, you can use a band. Let's see. This might be an epic fail if I can't get these 4. But it might be heavier as well. I'm just kind of hooked in the band. It's mid-back. You'll notice it'll feel like it's got a good pull. So it's gonna be easy going down. It's gonna make you fight for that push-up plus, right? Those. Actually, I think I should have got a little heavier. Yeah. Yeah, I could use these. I just ordered another set of these for class. Do what we did before, looking over the shoulder. Great option if you don't have any weights. Same with kettlebells, it's very versatile. That's it. Time for work. I'm warmed up. Good. Like what I got? 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Building for the Murph with quality, building strength, adding weight bands. Pull-ups form. You could add weight. You're really good at pull-ups. If 10 pull-ups is super easy, get a belt. I'll just grab a ball sometimes with my feet, one of these. 15 pounders, whatever, just grab that with your legs. Make those too tough. Then you'll feel like you're flying. If you already got a good solid 10 pull-ups, weight yourself, make those too tough. You'll probably be at 20 easy, really fast. It's way more than I can do. Like I said, push-ups, not my strong suit. Just burnt out on those. But we can make it fun again. Especially after the Murph, you don't want to see another pull-up or push-up. Thanks for the like, whoever gave that to me. Appreciate that. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate you guys. Go out there. Start prepping now. You know, Memorial Day's a long way away. If you're American, probably not Mr. Putin. But celebrate you taking care of yourself. If we all fixed ourselves, the world would be a better place. I feel like there's a lot of politics questions today. Work on the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, and people will see the change in you, and they'll want to change too. And you fix the outside, sometimes it helps the inside. Definitely. We've all been through those tough emotional times. And working on the physical can definitely help the emotional and the spiritual. There we go. You asked for it, so you got a little bit of that today. I don't want to share it, I want to end it. There, the X. Take care, guys.